Hi guys, Dazzie here with another episode of my 1 week later comic book recaps. This time's episode 11. Today I'm going to be discussing the books that were released on the 13th of February 2019. Let's start with the DC Comics books, and this one I didn't see in my LCS, but it's a pretty nice Federici Killer Bee cover, and that is The Batman Who Laughs, issue number 3. Nice cover. A lot of these Batman Who Laughs books have got stunning covers. Now that book sold out online in a lot of places, but there's not a lot of love yet on the secondary market. Most sales are around cover price, with a few just a little bit over cover. This one is probably a wait and see. It's a long-term hold for for your PC boxes at the moment. Another DC Comics book had a little bit of buzz was this one, and that is the Detective Comics 998, the Gary Frank variant. As we're fast approaching the 1,000, aren't we? The big one. Again, it sold out in a lot of places and the majority of major online retailers, but you can find this cover or slightly less now. Grab it for the personal collection, unless something inside the book is exposed later. I don't expect it to heat up, but again, a nice cover. And the last book in my DC roundup is going to be that pretty stunning art germ Wonder Woman 64. This was in my LCSs for £4. I passed on it. I'm trying to stay away from a lot of these cover buys because a lot of art germ books don't have a lot of spec at all because they're mass produced. That one is a little bit too much CGI for me, but it is nice. It is a nice cover. It's sold out on most places, most retailers online, but you still get this for cover price on the secondary market. Perhaps retailers are catching on to the variant covers, making these easily available, or perhaps speculators are buying and swamping the market. Hard to tell. I still say buy what you like and what you want. I'm sure we'll have a winner eventually when it slips past retailers. Now on to the Marvel books. And the first of those that I'm going to show you was an incentive, a 1 in 50 from Adam Hughes. And that is Avengers No Road Home, guys. Like I say, a 1 in 50. My LCS is never getting these bigger incentives. It's all some slight success, but being a 1 in 50 ratio, some retailers list these in the $60 to $75 range to begin with. Some sales reached as high as $80. So this is a winner if you found it cheap or cover price. And you can find these big books sometimes for cover price. Like I said, I managed to find the Justice League 8 Jim Lee sketch variant for £4 on my shelf in my LCS. So it can be done. It seems most recent listings are ranging anywhere between $69.99 to $99.99 on that book, with a few auctions hovering around the $50 range as I make this video. If the new NYX villain in this book proves worthy, this could be a nice book to own long term. Villains are hit or miss most of the time, sometimes not really proving their worth and value until further down the beaten path when they've made more appearances. Now on with those, of course, Immortal Hulk printings from last week. First up, we have the Immortal Hulk issue 2, and this is the 3rd printing. Of course, the first appearance of Dr. Fry. I'm fortunate enough to have got the first appearance of Dr. Fry, the first printing for cover, the week it came out. For the most part, it's a cover price book on the secondary market, with a few sales above cover, one reaching about $10. Not a bad pickup, I say, for a long-term gamble. We'll know hopefully the print run next month, but I'm expecting it's going to be a bit larger than normal. 3rd printings are usually low, but that series is fire right now. Then there was an Immortal Hulk Immortal Hulk number 3 3rd printing, and this is this one. Pretty nice cover. Immortal Hulk 3, the 3rd printing. Didn't see as much heat as this Immortal Hulk 2 3rd printing, but if you're a completist, Nice book to grab. It's still around the cover price mark. And finally, there was the Mortal Hawk 7 third printing. I think I grabbed that one, the first printing of that, because it was an error book. And this is your Mortal Hawk second printing. Pretty cool cover, bits and pieces in jars. And again, still around the cover price mark. Not a lot on the secondary market. Could be good long term with these extra printings, but it's all about supply and demand. Now we move on to the independent books and that hot company, Antarctic Press. This was a book I did look out for, but I had no joy in trying to find it. It did pretty well actually. This was the Devils from Antarctic Press. Pretty cool cover there. Now the Devils was talked about on the forums prior to coming out for some time. It's still heated up despite all the yearly buzz, and it became an $18 book early, but it's since settled down around about the $10 range, give or take a few. So if you can find them, possibly grab them and flip them. I'm not a flipper. I've never sold a book in my life. Maybe I will at some point. I've got a ton to get through, but I don't think it's going to hold its value too long once the hype has worn off. And finally is a book I did grab. The only new book I've bought for some time actually, and this I picked up 2 copies, and that was Exciting Comics issue 1, again from Antarctic Press. Picked up myself one and my friend Lyric Magic Moments one. If you can get this early, you could have made a little bit of profit. But for the most part, these are fizzing out now, and you can find some of the higher ratio variants at Midtown. Still a not bad pickup if you can find them out in the wild. So that's a wrap up, guys. And now my podium picks, as always. In third place, this time round, I am going to give it to Exciting Comics, issue 1. That is my bronze this week, guys. My bronze medal position. My silver medal this week goes to Immortal Hawk, of course. Issue 2, the third printing. And my book of the week, another title from Antarctic Press, is The Devils. That was my book of the week, guys. Big thanks to the heatingup.com for supplying some of that information. That's Daz over and out. Hope you enjoyed. Bye for now.